Of course, we've had so many stories of black folks being abused by cops, shot by cops, beaten by cops, killed by cops. And so there are a number of white Americans out there who said, you know what, let me reach out and help my fellow African-American brothers and sisters. So therefore, many have decided to give useful tips on social media. For example, here we go. Here's an idea. If Black Lives Matter, and they do, maybe teach your kids to respect authority and not seek out trouble with cops. That's one of them. Thank you, Matt Walsh, at Matt Walsh blog. Here's another one. So you think she cooperated with the police had she wouldn't have happened, just like Michael Brown, etc. That's a Fox News fan there as well. Here's another one. Why can't America admit that there's a double standard in both the arresting process of black people and the reprimands of police that follow? Was that one of the? So yeah, you have all these. It's like a whole bunch of tweets out there. I've gotten some of them as well with folks, but let me sort of help y'all out, okay? Do you remember last year the cop in Virginia who this young white man was arrested? And show the photo. I showed it on yesterday. Y'all remember this here? Show the photo. Okay? Gonna pull the photo in a second. So he got arrested. The cop is choking the kid.
Yeah.
He's choking him. That cop was fired in 48 hours.
Right.
Right.
Now the dude who choked Eric Garner still got his job, and we more than a year later.
And not indicted at all.
So I think but it's always interesting to me when you see these tweets and folks are just putting stuff out there saying, oh, if only you knew how to act right. Okay, John Crawford was acting right at the Beaver Creek, Ohio Walmart.
This young man in Palm Beach was acting right. His car broke down.
James Blake was acting right by standing in front of a hotel. Okay, and he got jumped by police officers for looking like, a former professional tennis player.
Right.
So
yeah, but it's one thing to say that the victims are acting right. The police are clearly acting wrong. However, what I don't understand is this repeat behavior. Who are we hiring? We all bring our cultural differences to the job, but who are we training? Who are we hiring?
Right, but it's like what angers me is that, again, and I've got these people tweet me as well, and like, well, if you know how to act. Okay, let's look at Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland
in her car.
Was in her car.
Yeah, but those
Sandra Bland, but see again, this is what, and so here's the problem. The problem is when people go, and again, well, the cop tells you to do something, you do it. When Sandra Bland said, I'm sorry, because remember the cop said, you got a problem?
Right.
You okay? He was a bit sarcastic and angry. And then when she expressed herself, and then when he said, get out of the car. Because he wanted to put the cigarette out.
Right.
And so again, I just love these folks who somehow think, no, if you just act right, all will be well. When I'm sorry, I've seen some white men and women get out the car, yelling, cussing, and screaming at the cop.
Absolutely.
And I ain't never seen them get shot.
Viral video from last week, the mac and cheese kid, the kid who comes in drunk to the cafeteria screaming and yelling that he wants some mac and cheese. It takes 5, 6, 7 different officers to calmly discuss with a drunk undergraduate student who just wants some dinner. So yeah, it's all these sort of disingenuous lies. But it starts in the top, because when we have the FBI director lying about this Ferguson effect nonsense, saying, oh yeah, well our police can't do their job because they're so afraid. That helps feed into this racist nonsense.
So because you can't shoot unarmed black people, you no longer want to do your job.
Well, and you've heard of all those EMTs that stopped rescuing people because one of the EMTs got in trouble. And you've heard of all those teachers who decide they don't want to teach anymore because one teacher gets caught for cheating. So again, when you have the FBI director who, as Roland mentioned this, Obama has to own this. He appointed this FBI director. He's saying this kind of nonsense. Why are we surprised about idiots on Twitter? Because it's coming from the top.
And where's the Twitter campaign to talk to the cops?
No. But
if you just act right, Officer John.
But that's the deal. The bottom line is, again, there's this belief that, again, cops can do no wrong, and whatever they say, you follow.
Right.
And it is and again, what bothers me is it is as if black folks do not have constitutional rights.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's really the big issue, as we don't have constitutional rights. In fact,
you lose your constitutional right or your First Amendment when the police ask you to do something or not do something. You have the right to refuse to do whatever you want to do with the police. You can yell, scream, and curse the police out. That's not an arrestable offense. You'll probably be arrested for disorderly conduct or being disorderly while black. But here's the thing. You don't have to follow orders that are illegal, if you will.
Right. Well, but also if a cop tells you, first we know, and I've seen it, white guy tells the cop, I need your name and badge number.
That's right. Call your sergeant down to authorize an arrest.
Black guy I need your badge and number. Oh, it's about to be hell.
Pow.
Right.
I mean, I'm
punched
so
in the
there's a
nose.
reality
Right.
there.
That's right.
And how
That's
about
right.
this? The punishment for disobeying somebody shouldn't be death. Okay, I mean, that's the core issue. The punishment for not listening immediately shouldn't be that you end up shot or dead, that you end up thrown down a flight of stairs, that you end up choked,
Thrown
that you
across
end up
the room.
thrown across the room as a 14-year-old girl. And I'll tell you this, again, the key issue is the white folks who say this sort of thing, we just have to be really candid, because there's black folk too who say this same kind of nonsense. It's not just racist, it's counterproductive, it's anti-constitutional, and it feeds into the kind of
And it's
idiocy that we
blind.
see in police officers that they
that
do.
never, and it doesn't get triggered. They don't trigger. It doesn't trigger that this black person's constitutional rights are being violated because the mentality is that we are somehow different than the normal human beings of the U.S. citizens. Ben Carson sat right in that green room and debated this subject and said, "Listen, if you just do what the police say and be respectful, we wouldn't have all of this violence." He said it right there in debating the lawyer out of Baltimore who you had on as a guest, and they got into this really interesting debate before they even got on the on the show. But that mentality is there for black people and white people and Ben Carson.
You must behave better.
Yes.
Well, but again, I mean, at the end of the day, the Constitution applies to all.
yeah.
Right. It's the end.
And it's not like, well, you
Unless
get
we're
it. you
3/5
get
of a
it.
human being.
Right, you get it and I don't. All right, folks.